this is the part where we insert the fart jokes.
God damn it, even this old.
Ay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to...
What the? Don't you dare do that again. I am seriously jaded today, so please don't fuck with me, man.
Okay, hello everyone, welcome to the Legend Hunters podcast.
Where bullshit happens and Leo is getting on my nerves today even more so than usual.
You're always pissed off at someone.
Or something.
Yes.
You're ready to go ahead. I'm pretty sure you have like a noose on the end of a lasso to go ahead and just yank on people that get on your bad side. Like you just get into your car, whirl it out like you're at a freaking rodeo, and just go chase people down.
I'm not to that point yet.
Yet.
I'm just quietly contemplating how I'll torture some people once I capture them.
Yes, that's why you have the row of baguettes lying on the wall.
Baguettes?
Plastic baguettes.
You know,
Let that imagery sink in for a second.
I also want to point out we haven't gotten to the Japan section yet, so let's save that.
Dildos, in case I'm not being explicit enough.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, so
just lay it against the wall like baguettes.
How are your weeks, guys?
Pretty fucking fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Good to fucking hear that.
I could have been better off, but that's me. Anyway, why don't you guys start off?
Yeah, I've been doing pretty good. I've been actually spending a lot of my time organizing my games instead of actually playing them.
Mm-hmm. And offering a few for sale, if I'm not
mistaken.
mistaken.
I went through a lot of my PS3 games. I'm going to do the same thing with my 3DS and DS games and see if there's anything worth keeping and worth selling.
Okay. So I guess you're not going to have much time for gaming.
Oh no, I'm gonna game my brains out on Saturday morning. Because
we're recording this on Thursday because
reasons.
Because
reasons.
Yeah.
So, but the way it works is that generally the general rule of thumb is that after Good Friday, your penance is up. Some people wait until Easter Sunday, and some people wait until Easter Monday. But the general sanctioned rule is that after Good Friday.
Okay.
Because that's after the fasting is done.
Alright, I guess I won't be hearing from you all Saturday day.
Nope. No, you will not. Other than that, I've been doing a lot of research for different video game builds. A lot of Bloodborne research, which I'm eagerly excited to get to.
Yes.
Definitely a little bit of reading every now and then. I've started reading the Shield Knight legend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've started reading into that. There's actually another series that I've been reading which will surprise neither of you, but I think it's actually rather cute.
Oh, really? Which one?
It's called, and I have to be very careful with my pronunciation of this, Futari Hentai. Which is not a hentai actually.
Oh, I know.
You know which one?
I know that.
You know which one it is. It's a romantic comedy, slice of life, and it features a newlywed couple in Japan.
Is that one?
Yes, it's that one.
Okay, it's basically like a sort of manga-esque sex manual.
Yeah,
I kind of want to strangle the dude because of some of the stuff he pulls.
So, newlywed couple gets married. And because of the way Japan is, have no idea how to proceed with sexual relations.
Of course, because Japan has no idea what sex is anymore.
Well,
not quite.
It's just that they take it to very weird extremes. So what this is, it's a telling of this couple's journey into sexual exploration and how to get intimate with one another, not just on a physical level, but on a personal one.
Yes. So it's more about the romance and less about the TNA.
Yeah.
So a better done version of 50 Shades, basically?
No, not even. It doesn't even go to that extreme. It's just literally talking about how to, it's like to take the phrase
from... It's like a self-help manual?
No. It's like to take the phrase from Ned Flanders. Sometimes a massage is just a massage. It doesn't need to lead to sexual relations.
Yeah.
And that's basically the point of the novel. Of course, that doesn't stop it from giving it weird names. Like I remember when I first went to the title screen on Manga Eden, it's one of the things was "Bring Me to Orgasm" as one of the titles of the chapter. So I mean, it's not going to stop sounding terrible, but at least it's more innocent than like
Well,
at least it's going to be innocent in the term of what it's dealing with, unlike Kenichi.
Well, it's not necessarily... Yeah. It's not innocent. That's not the word I'm thinking.
I think it's more...
It's more of a mature approach to it. Like,
you're
not
less
looking...
ecchi.
It's not about the ecchi. It's more about, well, what it takes to be in a relationship. And the hardship,
physical relationship, not just the emotional aspect, which a lot of they want to talk about the emotional aspects in a lot of traditional novels, and then in the dirty stuff, obviously, they just go straight to the physical. This is more of a realistic, and again, the slice of life very much applies here.
Yes, it does.
Again, I'm not a big fan of slice of life anything.
Well,
very few things
again,
in the slice of life genre would I actually enjoy.
I know, but there's some stupid moments in slice of life. I don't know which series it is, but I know there's one where a female student is getting disciplined with the water buckets outside of her classroom, right? And she's just staring outside, and in front of the mirrors, it's an open window, and she's just staring outside into like the courtyard. And there's a deer, a wild deer in the middle of the school.
Oh my gosh, is it that one?
Yeah, it's that one. So let me go and tell the story.
Go for it.
So the deer is just going ahead and is just munching on the ferns around the area. And then the head principal walks by and sees this deer. So he walks up to the deer and gets headbutted so hard. Like blood spewing out of his mouth hard. So he wincingly gets back up and approaches the deer again.
The idiot.
No. This man
He gets headbutted for the second time and decides that he's not going to take this anymore. So he walks over to a stone statue, climbs up it, and he performs a reverse moonsault onto the deer. Even with a freaking cameo showing him as a freaking wrestler.
Yes!
To which he epically misses the deer.
Aww!
And then gets headbutted a third time. Finally, he's had enough of it, so he busts out the signature move. He goes Wrath of the Raging Demon on the deer, air dashes towards him, grabs the deer, picks him up by the torso,
upside down,
spins him, and unleashes the most wicked neck breaker you've ever seen, to the point where the deer's body is still spinning in mid-air from the initial hit.
I have a gif of that!
And then, magically, as he makes this one moment happen, his hairpiece comes off. And no one else notices but this girl who's being punished for delinquency.
Best delinquency punishment ever! I really need to find this one.
There's I think it's from the same series, but it's a different character. This girl gets caught by three different people and a goat for drawing a yaoi comic.
Oh my god.
She's so embarrassed that she performs the move on all three people and the fucking goats. So,
okay. What's the name of this stuff?
I don't even know that. I can show you the clips afterwards, but I cannot for the life of me recall what.
Help us out in the comments if you know.
We can probably look it up and probably someone will know, but I swear, I know slice of life is not my thing either. But there's there are hilarious.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I know that.
Yeah.
But then again, some of the stuff is just kind of kooky for my taste. I remember reading Oran Host Club.
Okay, so that example is one of those things we don't touch.
Yes.
I sadly saw the entire anime from beginning to end. I had no life back in high school.
No, I'm just pitying your...
I pity you.
I pity you.
I pity you.
Yeah.
I pity the boo.
And yet I know men who enjoy it.
It's got its moments. I won't deny that, but it's not geared towards
the male fan base.
Yes, it's basically a reverse harem.
Yeah,
Speaking of reverse harems, I still can't believe I even like Tenchi.
I was about to say, it's like the reverse of Tenchi. And even that, it kind of gets... That one's okay because it mellows it out with some space opera.
It does, but then again, your mind immediately goes back to, oh god, this one character is Tenchi's cousin, incest. My eyes, they won't stop bleeding.
Which one is Tenchi's cousin? Because
Princess Ayaka.
She's... Wow, I did not remember that little fact.
Oh dear.
That's because I ended up watching Tenchi again a few months back because I forgot all about it. I went to see, why did I enjoy this anime? And like, oh yeah, because I was stupid.
It's kind of weird that, like, I phased out of Sailor Moon just before, I think it's Uranus and Neptune showed up.
Yeah.
Which are which they are lesbian lovers in the original source material, but they were changed to cousins because of we can't have lesbians. But then that just makes the implications of incest even more so on top of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I kind of dropped out right before that, so I missed that entirely.
That was actually a pretty good arc.
Remind me, when does Sailor Moon grow the beard?
Wait, what?
What?
Okay, let me explain.
I'm gonna guess this is a trope, but that's what I was
that's
guessing.
the name of the trope. The trope is that Star Wars Generation, I think, the second season, the one with Picard.
You mean Star Trek?
Yes.
Get your facts straight.
I'm not a Trekkie. I'm not a Trekkie,
yeah, but
so you'll have to.
Yeah, but you're not a Star Wars fan either, and I was about to rage at you for that.
I am a Star Wars fan. I am a Star Wars fan. I'm not a Star Trek fan.
All right, there you go.
I haven't watched... I might...
Because you said wars on accident, that's why we're getting on.
Okay.
But
Star
anyway,
Trek.
But growing the beard.
Okay. So, growing the beard. At one point, one of the characters, unfortunately I don't know his name, I'm not a Trekkie.
Number one?
It was one of his number two. It was one of the number twos. The first season was basically complete... It was very, very difficult to get into it. It was very, very boring, I could almost say.
Yeah.
But then at some point, they broke off in the season, and one of the characters, the one that's...
Yeah, that's number one.
I don't know his name.
That's what he's called in the show. Number one.
Okay. Well, anyway, the character in the previous season had no beard.
Yes.
When he came back, he had a beard, and suddenly the show was amazing.
You know what? I can't tell you because I've not seen an episode since I was in elementary school.
My dad kind of watches Star Trek sometimes, and I occasionally pass by an episode or two, so...
No, but he's asking for the Sailor Moon equivalent.
Yes, like the moment where the show suddenly became awesome.
Again, I would...
When the show suddenly became good again, I would say when Uranus and Neptune came out.
So there you go.
Because it had the whole really dark arc with Sailor Saturn.
Oh, okay, so...
It was basically the Grim Reaper Sailor Scout.
Oh, okay, I was confusing Saturn and Jupiter for a second there, never mind.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Sailor...
I was going to say, what did you do to Sailor Jupiter, you asses?
No. Although, they did end it, I believe, after... It was either after that arc or after another... Oh, wait, no, it was after the whole Dark Circus arc.
I dropped out right before that, so I wouldn't know.
Yep.
But yeah.
And that's when they had Sailor Mini Moon, which is...
oh yeah, that much I do remember, which is...
There's a Sailor what?
Okay.
That's Sailor Moon's daughter.
So they do some time-traveling malarkey, which...
In the third season,
where they basically have...
Sailor
We're
Moon's...
done?
Denied!
We're done.
Denied!
He's done.
We're done. I'm done here.
Okay, so the other thing I was doing was...
Oh, we're still on your week.
Yes, I was still on my week, you asses. 13! You hijack my week every single goddamn time.
My apologies. Continue, sir.
So the other thing that I was doing was just checking up on Dark Souls build because, again, Scholar of the First Sin is coming out this week. So let me remind you guys so that it doesn't confuse you. There is a patch that was released back in March, which is called Scholar of the First Sin.
Yeah.
And that was the latest patch they have, which included, amongst balance changes, the Scholar of the First Sin, as a featured character.
Alright.
They are releasing I think it's by the time this podcast comes out, Scholar of the First Sin edition for the consoles and for the PC version, which comes pre-packaged with DLC, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of like the Prepare to Die edition for Dark Souls 1.
Does it have all the DLC?
I think it does.
I think it should.
If it does, I wouldn't
Which
mind...
would be the only reason to repackage it that way. That's the only thing that would make sense to me.
That would be a good reason for me to go ahead and re-get the game.
Right.
And I could just put the game in, and I would have all the DLC on it.
I think it comes with the DLC and the latest patch, which is why they did it this way.
Okay, if it has all 3 Crown DLCs, I would love to play it.
I think it would. I think it does.
Woo!
So that's definitely because they made some balance changes. They made some. They added a couple of things. I think I told you earlier the Watch Dragon Parma has a item discovery effect that only happens in in the Scholar of the First Sin patch. So if you don't have connection to update it,
it's not going to be squat.
You're basically playing on version 1.0.
I'm actually not on version 1.0. I'm on an updated patch.
1.6?
I think so. 1.6.
Okay, then I think that is the Scholar of we didn't see Scholar of the First Sin, so I don't know what happened with that. So maybe not necessarily.
Maybe, yeah.
But
I think it was just like a calibration.
Because the calibration has the patches. So again, if you don't let it calibrate, it's not going to do it.
Okay.
Okay. And just on a off note, I did see a funny little. It wasn't intentionally done for April Fools, but it was a funny little thing that I just thought would be nice to share. Is that in the Steam notes for Scholar of the First Sin, they in the build description it says Scholar of Fifth Sin character should appear in X location. Scholar of Fist Sin.
Oh man!
How epic would that be?
Scholar of Fists.
Scholar of the Fifth Sin.
Scholar of the Fifth. Oh,
that
God.
sounds like a B Japanese action movie right there.
Yes, it does.
One nerd, one sin,
one fist.
The eternal.
Wait, he
fist.
lost an arm?
Yes.
No, he lost his fist.
What is the point of this movie? For him to get his fist back?
Yeah, he's possessed by the Bone Fist.
Oh my God.
Oh dear God.
Okay.
Bone Fisting!
That... Oh, no, not fisting. Not fisting. That's something different.
Okay, can we...
I would rather punch across the face than... anyway.
So, why don't I go ahead and...
Zara, how's your week?
That bad, huh?
You're dead.
Not dead, but I had a really rough exam today, and I am currently hating myself for it. Other than that, I did do some gaming on the side. I finally picked up Raging Historia and decided to play it a little bit, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot.
Sounds good, sounds good.
And currently one of the Let's Players I'm watching is now doing his 4th Final Fantasy IV Let's Play series.
4th?
3rd or 4th. He did the original for the original Japanese version.
Okay.
He did the PSP version with the complete after years stuff.
Okay.
Oh wait, so this is the 3rd one. Now he's doing the DS version.
Dear goodness.
Because each one has different changes to it.
I figured that.
Is he going to do the iOS version next?
That is this version, that was for the 3DS, also was for the iOS and Android.
Oh well, there you go.
And the PC.
There you go.
So he's doing that, so I'm actually following on that because I never beat Final Fantasy IV DS.
I'm
because
right there
apparently,
with you on that one.
Because apparently, the people who made it decided to say, "Fuck you, we're making this hard." Harder, yeah.
Harder.
Because they
fuck you, Golbez.
But apparently, a few things are broken in the game, like slow and stop.
Yes, they are.
Well, and this guy's going to banning them from his LP.
Aww, well. If he wants a challenge, I don't blame him. I don't. I won't fault him if he wins.
He wants the enemies to actually show off their stuff.
No items. Fox only. Final destination.
Oh man.
So other than that, did a little bit of artwork on the side. Other than that, not much. Other than reading up on. I was watching JoJo, and I was also watching Assassination Classroom.
Ah, yes, and a lot of crazy updates for that one.
Yes. Oh, I forgot. I also saw another anime. I burned through an anime during my last week.
Right.
Parasite.
Parasite.
Yes.
I saw a little bit of that one. It didn't really catch my interest.
I read the manga back in high school when I was hanging out with you in the computer lab.
Ah, okay.
And I never finished it. And I could say that it was a pretty interesting series, but the way it ended was just kind of meh. It really kind of ended on an anticlimax. I mean, they had a great climax fight with this one character who was like 5 parasites in one.
Ah, okay, so...
It was a great fight, but it just kind of meh right after.
It went out. Leo, why don't you make the joke?
What?
It went flaccid.
Okay, there we go.
After it...
It was a ceaseless discharge.
No, that would have been fun.
No, it discharged and then it went flaccid.
So it was like Duke Nukem Forever.
Yes.
Yeah. Alright.
So it was good. It was a good ride. I did love the music for it. It was kind of half rock, half kind of dubstep-y techno. So it was.
I thought you hate dubstep.
It depends, really. But like, I'm talking about the scratching, whooping, that kind of sound that like just pounds on your skull like a jackhammer. That I hate.
You mean the one that you take ecstasy in order to enjoy?
Yes. Why does this need drugs to be enjoyed?
Drugs or sex, either way.
No.
No, because it's the sound of...
No, it's not even that. It's not even
that would be the sensation, but I wouldn't know.
Yeah, normal dubstep is the sound of nails on a chalkboard in my brain. This is just like techno rock, kinda. I kinda like that.
Well, if it's dubstep for me, it's gonna be melodic for me to like it. Otherwise,
it is kind of melodic. It's not like just whop, whop.
Well,
whop.
I don't mind if they do that, but they need to add a melody to it.
That was a good frog imitation.
Okay.
So other than that, that's been my past 2 weeks.
I did kind of forget to mention, Toriko's going by the balls on this one.
Yeah.
I just say get away from them.
Right near Komatsu's alive.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Well, spoilers.
Yeah. And I just saw the latest episode of Toriko. Chapter, I mean.
Alright.
They updated already?
They updated today.
Oh shit, I gotta go check that out later.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Alright.
Nothing super major in that one. Just them going off the mountain.
London, what are you up to?
What have I been up to? Well, other than actually carrying ecstasy in my pocket...
Because of your job?
Yeah, I actually came back from my job today, and my pants still smell of ecstasy. I swear I'm not doing anything illegal. I just work with the Border Patrol to help them train their dogs. I swear.
Why are these white stains in your pantaloons?
Actually, my folks do know what I do.
Yeah, I know.
We make a point of spraying them with shout to get out
They are
the
so
smell.
sticky.
Yeah, they stink. Good God, I'm not sure how anyone would be able to get away with this stuff.
Sticky.
Yeah, this stuff stinks to
Sticky.
high hell.
No, he meant
sticky.
Sticky as in the other white sticky substance. And no, we're not talking about glue.
No. Anyway, besides
Why am
that,
I being pervy today?
why are you being pervy today?
I think it's because I'm just so goddamn burned out that I'm just going to go and ride the... Shut up, you asshole!
Well, we're not the one walking into it.
Nor the one walking off of it.
And the face pillow ensues. Okay, so stuff that I've been up to besides.
You know what? Just a small note. You might want to rotate your screen pillows every once in a while, because I think you're gonna wear that one out by the time you're finished with this podcast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
This podcast particularly is going to be rage-inducing.
Oh yes.
So there will be moments of great joy.
So
in great agony.
So
stuff.
About this week?
Yes, my stuff. The stuffs. Okay, so I've been going ahead and playing the 2 games that I purchased not too long ago. I went back to Dragon's Dogma and I turned it in for the updated version, which I had not been able to afford for a little while. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. And I just gotta say, I am getting my ass kicked so hard.
It's just like,
good God.
To his backside, though.
Yeah.
Dark Arisen is a few stages above Dragon's Dogma, the original, for a few reasons. Number 1, they introduced a brand new dungeon. Number 2, they introduced a brand new difficulty level. They only had 2 originally.
Normal and hard?
Normal and easy. They added a hard version. In which you take double damage from everything, which means that wolves will tear you apart in seconds.
As they would in real life.
And a Cyclops can one-shot you.
As they would in real life if they existed.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically this game is bending you over its knees, smacking your ass, and telling you to call him daddy.
And here's the best parts! I'm playing this on hard mode, and the enemies I were talking about are in the vanilla! They have a completely new dungeon where all the enemies hit 10 times as hard! And it's so much faster! It's amazing! I got shot down in like 2 seconds stepping in there!
I think this goes to show how much Dark Souls has messed with our brains, to the fact that we enjoy punishment now.
I think that the next time you go play Dark Arisen Legend, you're gonna have to prep your session by sitting on a door lock for a couple of minutes.
Oh
no! Hell no!
Either that or sit on a bed of nails. Pretty much the same effect.
Oh no. They also made a lot of improvements to the gameplay. For instance, they cut down on a lot of the horrifying backtracking.
I think they also go ahead and let you respec earlier also.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh, well, that's nice. So you
can actually go to the island, and they actually have something there that allows you to change your classes fairly easily if you have the points for it.
Okay, if we ever decide to do a Let's Play Dragon's Dogma, let's do that.
Oh, yeah, Dark Arisen, absolutely.
Yeah.
Though you will have much more rage than in original Dark Souls.
Really?
Yes. It's basically... How do I put this? It's like Devil May Cry Speed meets Shadow of the Colossus Climbing meets Dark Souls Difficulty with completely new and different button layouts.
That sounds kind of cool, actually.
It is badass. I am actually kind of mad that they're limiting the Dragon's Dogma Online to Japan right now. I am desperately hoping they port it.
Well, you never know. You never know.
I really hope so, because it's honestly something that I could see saving Capcom.
Well, technically you can buy Capcom for $1 million now.
Well, that may have been the case. I don't know if it is the case now, because, they have made their money.
Fair enough.
Okay, so other things that I've been doing. There was one other game that I picked up. I was lucky to find it. Monster Hunter 4. Which I almost had to go cross-state to get. And I still couldn't find it, even when I did. Yeah, I picked up Monster Hunter, and I'm definitely enjoying myself. I definitely see why a lot of people like it. It's definitely that straightforward gameplay that I've been wanting. But it is still infuriating. Much more infuriating. Incredibly infuriating when you end up fighting a monster that can so severely kick your ass.
I think Pro Jared has a walkthrough video for newcomers to Monster Hunter.
Yeah, but I kind of want to meet these monsters for the first time.
Well, after you do, go check out the video.
Oh yeah, and I have gone back to the older monsters, beat them up, gotten their stuff, and made brand new awesome gear from it.
I think that's the entire point of the game.
It is the entire point of the game, and it's a wonderful concept. Yeah. It's you versus nature.
You versus the monster in a grind-tacular fashion.
Know what I said? Not just you versus the monster, you versus nature. The monster is just a part of it. You also have to deal with the environment, as well as take from the environment to create your own medicine and everything.
Alright, then that sounds kind of cool.
You can also customize your own cat person.
That is true.
And in the latest DLCs, they're going to make them look like Mario and Luigi.
Although apparently I've heard that it's shite. The stats for that gear's armor is utter shite.
It's just cute little armor that makes them look really ugly.
Yeah, but the stats for them are terrible, so you don't have a reason to even put them on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Alright then, so with that out of the way, I guess we should go ahead and get news started.
Yeah, there's some other stuff.
Usually here we would start with the douchebag of the week, which we don't. We don't have a douchebag of the week.
I beg to differ.
Actually, we do have a certain announcement to make, don't we, Zero?
Announcement?
You have to have a statement to retract, I believe.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Dude, go ahead and tell the fans, the audience, what you are going to say.
So, after giving it some thought after the whole Nintendo creative licensing bullshit, I'm going to go ahead and redact my statement saying we will never Let's Play a Nintendo game, ever.
After seeing that most of his library is of Nintendo games. Hey, kind of dropped the ball on that one, huh, Chief?
Hindsight's 2020, so shut the fuck up.
No.
So, yeah.
Actually, I'm not going to shut up because my session is actually about Bloodborne. So, neither of you guys actually have not only a PS4, but a PS3 even.
Right?
I stuck the PS2.
I have a PS3.
I got the PS2 last 3 years ago.
But you don't...
Last year, I thought.
Yeah, but you don't use it, and you don't have the means to get it. Neither of you have the means to get a PS4.
No. I have no money.
Exactly.
I was actually considering doing a Patreon to not only help me support funds for school, but save a little money on the side for a PS4. And actually, after giving it some thought, we're going to have to look into international laws for how Patreon works.
Yeah, you might want to read how that works. But anyway, the thing that... So I've been actually doing a lot of reading on Bloodborne. And basically, both of you... We've all played Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
So let me go ahead and confirm for both of you guys that Bloodborne is the true successor to Dark Souls.
Yes.
And
I've seen
my
footage
God,
of it.
is it glorious.
I've seen footage of the game.
You typically have to die at the first enemy you encounter in order to go ahead and get warped to the Nexus Firelink Shrine Majula area of the game.
So you have to die.
So you have to die, and I saw a Let's Play where they actually go ahead, make it around the beast, and run up to the first bonfire in the game.
Oh.
But that took some severe balls. But most players are going to go ahead and die to that first beast, which then opens up the ability to get their starting weapon, starting firearm, and the notebook, which allows you to place notes.
Oh, you can choose which firearm you start with?
There's two. There's a pistol and a blunderbuss. And the difference becomes accuracy over stagger. So you can hit them from a further away with the pistol, but the blunderbuss arguably has a better stagger for the amount of hit that it's doing.
I wonder which would be better for fighting the Celtic beast with the cleric beast.
Either of them work because I've seen builds that use all three. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. What I should note is that you cannot level up until you beat the Celtic beast. The cleric beast, sorry. You cannot level up, period.
Until you beat the cleric beast.
So it goes, because that was apparently the thing back in Demons, that you had to beat the first area's boss in order to level up.
Like the Asylum Demon in Dark Souls.
No, not even the Asylum Demon. We're talking about, you'd have to go from level 1, whatever you start off with back in Dark Souls, and you have to go ahead and beat... the
Gargoyles?
Is that the first major boss?
Is it?
Wait, you could level up. You couldn't level up in
the Taurus Demon.
Taurus Demon.
So yeah, you cannot in original Demons.
Okay.
You could not level up until you beat the first boss, which the Dark Souls equivalent would be starting game until Taurus Demon.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
And they had it was a lot more punishing in Demons, which is part of the reason why when I got it, I stopped after the first couple of areas because it was so damn infuriating for me.
Really? It's that difficult?
Well, it's infuriating because not only does it punish you for dying via hollowing,
yeah,
but which does reduce some of your life, but even more so, the enemies get tougher every time you die. There's a mechanic in Demon Souls called tendency, world tendency, which basically refers to how pure or how evil the world is. And the more you die, the more black the tendency the world becomes.
So it's basically like using Dark Souls 2 mechanics. It's like basically every time you do,
applying it to the enemies instead of your health bar.
Yes, it's like that, and also basically like adding a bonfire aesthetic, almost in a way.
It can be turned down, but you have to actually beat the area in order to do so.
Ah.
The other thing that I should note is that they changed a mechanic that we've all taken advantage of back in the original even compared to the other 3 games, which is whenever you died, you left whatever souls you had in the spot that you died. Or the approximate vicinity.
In Bloodborne, what happens is the enemy that kills you absorbs everything.
So you have to kill them.
Yes.
Yep.
And get back what is called your blood echoes.
And again, it works under the same mechanic where you die once, they have the souls. You die twice, they're gone for good.
Yeah. And it's actually, I believe, if you get your soul echoes back, it allows you to do some stuff, if I recall.
No, that's a different thing with the fighting mechanic. And what they've done is that number 1, shields are gone. They do have a shield in the game, but it's pathetic. it's worse than the cracked plank shield than in the old games. That's how bad it is.
So it's all offense.
It's a more offensive game. That's what. And the way that works is that if you're hit, you can regain your life if you immediately counterattack the foe. And you get small portions of your health back.
But you can recover almost all of it.
Almost all of it.
Not all of it.
But you have to attack them in order to do that. If you back off, then you're going to lose that health.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything similar to like an Estus in the game?
Yeah, you have blood vials. They come plentifully. The thing is that Estus in Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 was a thing you always had on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you could always refill it by coming back to the bonfire.
No such thing in this game.
You can run out of blood vials.
You can run out of blood vials.
So they're basically like the life gems.
No, they're more like the grass in Demon Souls, because in Demon Souls you didn't have Estus either. You had a select number of healing items. So it's just that they simplified, because in Demons they had various versions of grass which healed you in various amounts. So they just simplified it by giving you one healing item that everyone dropped, and that would heal you for a good amount.
All right.
So, like we've been saying before, it is a very much more offense-oriented.
That being said, the dodge in that game is so awesome. You don't have weight encumbrance, so you can fashion souls it up as much as you want. The dodge is excellent. You can even dodge enemy pistol fire and shotgun fire with it, and it's required for at least the second boss.
Wow.
So I mean, dodging is awesome, but it's also very important.
Don't tell me what the second boss is. I know the first boss is.
You also have charge attacks, which acts as the riposts and the backstabs of the game. So in order to actually pull these off, you have to walk behind the opponent slowly and get behind them undetected. You charge up the attack. I think it's the R2 that charges up the strong, and then you hit them. It hits them, it staggers them, and then you hit R1 behind them to do the riposte attack, to do the backstab.
Yeah, I saw with the cleric beast, if you stagger it, used by shooting at it, falls down, you press R1 in front of his head, and you do a riposte.
And that's the riposte, which is you use your gunfire to do the same effect.
Okay.
So, if you stagger them, you can riposte them.
Alright, so backstabbing is a lot harder, and
it's not as simple as walk behind them and they go, booyah!
Mm-hmm. But it also makes for some very interesting combinations when you attack them from afar, stagger them, and then you jump in for the kill.
Alright.
Okay. Interesting.
And they have so the weapons are arguably the best part about this. Is that the main melee weapons are called trick weapons. And they're called trick weapons because they all have one-handed to two-handed variants with unique effects.
Like that one sword that can also become a giant hammer?
Yes, the Kirk hammer, which has in the haft of the hammer is a long sword.
Monster Hunter also has these interchangeable weapons.
But do they have a very large wagging wheel by which you spin it to burn blood to make the wheel stronger?
The wheel.
The wheel.
Like the bringing up the wheel.
I saw this on Fighting Cowboys. Fighting Cowboys is this YouTuber who does build videos for Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. And he did his Bloodborne playthrough recently, and he shows off the build that he was using to beat the game, which features a weapon which allows you to burn HP willingly to power up the strength of the weapon, and it's essentially a giant wagon wheel that you go ahead and smash in people's faces.
So it's like the bone wheel skeletons?
Except this thing has a ridiculous hitbox.
Like ridiculously big?
Like it's awkward, so that way it's big and it's awkward. It's almost like you can dead angle them.
What about that scythe, that detachable scythe?
The I don't. I think there is a scythe, but there's a lot of scythe-like weapons. For example, the saw sword, which you can get at the beginning of the game, is the hatchet thing, which flips out. There's also a saw spear, which is the same weapon, but has longer range and has a slightly different moveset. But there's two other weapons that I'm most intrigued by that I'm aware of. The first is I think it's called the. Basically, it's a cane whip. It's a cane sword / cane whip, which in its one-handed form, cane sword. We all know that. In the second form, it becomes a cane whip and allows you to strike at foes.
So, do the blades themselves detach?
Yes, it detaches, and then you get a satisfying chink, a satisfying stomp when you go ahead and change it back to the one-handed form.
So it's like Renji's weapon from Bleach.
No, it's more like Ivy's weapon from Soul Calibur.
Which is
a sword whip.
Damn.
Who thought of this idea?
And the other one,
whoever it was, I want to meet them and I want to give them all my money.
The other one is the Hunter's Axe, which is going to be my starting weapon, which is a typical one-handed axe that extends out to a halberd. And yes, the spin to win attack is back.
Alright.
Oh boy.
And this is just the ones that I know about. I also know that there are supposed to be different firearms, one of which includes an 8-pound cannon.
I also know that there's a rapier that turns into a gun.
Did you say 8-pound cannon?
Yes. You can actually wield an 8-pound... It looks like an 8-pound cannon, maybe a 6-pounder, I'm not so sure. But you can essentially fire a cannon as your firearm. Boom, bitch! And it works exactly how you think it would.
Why am I thinking Army of Darkness now?
Because we're only a couple steps away from it.
Alright, so...
Oh boy!
So, in all, if you like Dark Souls but hated Dark Souls 2, you're going to love Bloodborne.
Alright, so now that we've wasted about 41 minutes,
let's get to Legends of Lament.
Oh joy! We can't even get to the news yet!
Hell no! Because this does bother me.
Fine, get your venting out.
Okay, so a little while back I picked up a light novel translation known as Tate no Yusha. Can't recall the whole thing, but it roughly translates to The Rise of the Shield Hero. It's a very, very good story. Unfortunately, the translation was discontinued.
It sucks.
Yes.
Yeah, because you were gushing about that like nuts.
Good God. And I had a great reason to.
Explain.
There was a hope spot.
Well, it wasn't just a hope spot. It wasn't like, okay, how do I put this? The main character is the shield hero.
Let's keep it under 5 minutes because I'm pretty sure Zero's about ready to rip our heads off.
Well, considering that you actually ate up a lot of my time as well.
Anyway.
The Rise of the Shield Hero features a protagonist who starts out bright-eyed, innocent, whatnot, but within 2 chapters goes dark. Super, super dark. And not entirely, it wasn't even his fault. He was framed for a crime that he did not commit. A very heinous one, I might add. But it's like constant character development. And what cheesed me off most about what happened with the translation, what hit me hardest about this, was that it had hit the absolute top point of his character development. He had actually evolved beyond just being an asshole.
To becoming an ungodly asshole?
No, to becoming a god.
A what?
The man had he had gone through sacrifice after sacrifice, hardship after hardship, all of this crazy stuff. And within all of that, he still had that spark of humanity. That still beating heart of humanity. The great point of himself. He was always kind to the people that he knew. Even if he was a complete dick to their faces. Yes, the man was a dick, but he was a dick with a heart of gold.
So like me?
You could say that.
I'm joking.
And his character development was unbelievable. There were points where I just had to go, my God, man, how can you keep walking, much less talk or do heroic things? How do you keep doing good things for other people when so much shit's happening to you? And at this one point, someone actually does something for him that floors him, and floored me when I read it. And it changed him completely. All of the character plot points came down in one shot. Just because of this one action this one other character did. And then the translation freaking ends!
Don't they have a manga version of it?
Yeah, it's nowhere near caught up. And I don't know when they update.
Oh, joy.
But whenever they do, good God, it's awesome.
We're going to need to clean Zera's computer from Legends explosive.
Fangasm?
Unfortunately, we've already seen enough white stuff out of your Bloodborne review.
Yes, sweat is a terrible thing, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Alright, so you managed to keep that under 2 minutes, so let's move on!
You were timing me?
Yes, I
You bastard!
Now, why don't we get to something we can all be happy about, like One Punch Man?
Yes! Yes, indeed!
Thank you for speaking the mic.
Picking the mic!
You gotta go a little bit louder than that. We're getting a One Punch Man anime!
My Studio Madhouse!
Let it be known that the hype is real!
Okay, that was a bit too much now, though. Your face is turning red.
Oh, I can go much louder.
And
I want to, but I'm holding
the
back.
rest of your face.
Yes.
Please don't. My
Okay.
dad is in the other room and he's
Okay.
hearing all this shit.
Okay, so One Punch Man is finally getting an anime.
Care to explain what One Punch Man is?
We've taught One Punch Man plenty of times on this podcast.
Okay, as a comparison, we've all seen the Goku versus Superman fight, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Saitama, the infamous One Punch Man, is a man who would put both of these gentlemen to shame.
Oh, shots fired.
I am going to call that. Superman has a weakness. Saitama has none. Goku has died repeatedly in his own series. Saitama defeats everything he punches in one punch.
Except for one enemy I saw, which actually survived 3.
Survived 3. Think about that for a second. Survived 3. One punch is enough. Okay, one punch from his serious series is enough to change world climate.
And how did he gain such godly powers?
Push-ups, sit-ups, and plenty of juice.
And that's all he did.
And that's all he did. And somehow he became one. He technically, if he wasn't in a B rank at the moment, he would be basically like the S rank 1.
Power levels are bullshit.
Yeah.
The only reason why he was a C-class hero to begin with was because he failed the essay portion of the test.
And that's all.
And that's all. Saitama is the greatest hero in manga that I can think of. In terms of raw ability.
Also, he exercised so much he went bald.
Yes. He is also the funniest of all heroes in manga.
It's kind of like something if Huge Quest was actually extended beyond like the 15-20 minute video that it was.
Yes!
I still hate you for making me see that.
Oh, you haven't even seen the best part.
I saw the whole damn thing!
Oh, okay, in that case.
Minus the part with ethical questionability. Because Saitama is totally ethical.
Yes, he is the best hero. He strictly does it as a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
He only got into the professional gig so that he could be recognized for his actions.
And even then, he's not really all that recognized.
There are moments where he could easily go for it. He could be like the most amazing hero of all time. But he walks away from it.
He's so goddamn humble.
Yeah, also, people keep mistaking him for King Engine.
They mistake King Engine. Well,
they mistake King Engine for him. And King Engine is just a regular guy.
A regular guy who happens to have 3 scars across his face.
Because he
Well, actually, that's spoiler territory.
I already read that.
No, but what
still,
about our viewers?
it's not for the viewers.
Okay, but in short, we're looking at the ultimate parody of the shonen genre. while still keeping the shonen genre alive.
Oh, by the way, did we mention that his disciple is the most cliched anime motherfucker that we could ever imagine?
Let's see.
To be fair, he is still badass.
I know he's badass, but he's cliched to fuck.
Let's see. Cyborg on a blood vengeance.
Orphan. Blonde, short hair, emo attitude.
Has a protege. Has a mentor.
Has a funny mentor.
A funny mentor. And he has a person who puts him back together.
Yes. He is basically every single anime shonen trope.
Sometimes multiple at once.
Yep.
Sometimes multiple at once.
Yeah, I'm really starting to see the angsty emo side of him lately.
Crawley.
Don't remind me.
Crawley.
No.
Okay, anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, we're looking forward eagerly to that.
Yeah, people are already calling this anime of the year.
Really, they were already calling JoJo when it first came out like anime of the year material.
Well, this...
There can only be one.
There can only be one. Yes.
JoJo versus Saitama.
Boy, anything versus Saitama is at a significant disadvantage.
you know that the only people who can see stands are other stand users, right?
But he can beat everyone in one punch. I don't think he even needs to be anywhere near you in order for the punch to connect.
True, because technically he did this serious punch.
Have you two seen his serious sidesteps?
No.
No.
Well-
Well, I'm on chapter 60 or something.
I know you don't know this, and this is kind of going into spoiler territories, but Zero, you certainly know how amped up JoJo gets later on.
Yeah.
So, well, not just that, but because he still shows up after Stardust Crusaders.
Yeah, he shows up.
Well,
I'm just going to say the arcs.
He shows up in 4 and he shows up in 6.
Yeah, he shows up in Diamond is
Diamond is Unbreakable.
Diamond is Unbreakable.
And
slightly in Vento Ario.
Yeah, but not as much as.
But he does show up in Stone Ocean.
Not as much as in Stone Ocean. Yeah.
But technically, the only reason he's in Stone Ocean
Well,
is because
that is kind of spoilers, so let's not go there.
fine.
Okay.
But yeah, Saitama being in an anime, awesome sauce.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure he could beat Goku in one.
Punch.
Yeah.
Or 2, tops.
Even in God form, I would think.
Yeah.
That would be the shots fired.
Ooh. Alright then, so next up, what the fuck Japan?
Actually, I'm only calling this "What the fuck Japan" because it's a Japanese thing. In reality, this is all U.S. based.
A Yandere simulator.
Yes.
That was what I was hinting at before. And this thing is hilarious.
This is literally a one-man project, guys.
What is it?
Okay, so you're familiar with the Grand Theft Auto style of gaming, sandbox-ish.
Yeah.
Hitman style of gaming where you're sent to shoot people and do it in creative ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when you give it to the reins of a yandere character.
High school girl.
High school girl obsessed with this one guy to the point that she will kill him to make sure he doesn't escape.
No. She murders the hypotenuse.
She murders anyone who stands between him and her.
Yeah.
And
yes.
And again,
and I've seen yandere, it's where they will actually cut off their lover's limbs just to make sure they won't run away.
Yeah, but we're not there yet. It's not there yet. This is going to be the early stages of it.
And it's already looking hilarious.
And I mean, you already have things like Senpai's talking to this girl, go murder her now.
And there's also Attack on Titan mode.
Attack on Titan mode? I didn't see
which
this.
turns every single walking thing into a Titan. From Attack on Titan.
I did not see this.
It is hilarious.
I do know.
I'm not sure if the music is included, but
I do know that the guy behind this game spent several months tweaking the engine so that way when the violence gets acted up, her pupils begin to dilate more and more as the action progresses on.
So what? They'll just become black pitless voids?
Yeah, kind of like that. If you've ever seen yandere characters in action.
Just getting smaller and smaller.
Really joy.
I mean, Love Drunk has nothing on this.
Alright, moving away from the creep factor, we go to
more creep
This
factor.
was announced recently, and considering the hate boner we've been doing for movies recently, I had to include it.
To be fair, I think the only problems were April O'Neil and
The faces of the turtles.
And the faces of the turtles, which I didn't have that big of a problem with, but
They slightly looked racist to me, but that's just me.
I also had a little bit of a problem with some of the more modern tones that some of them were taking.
Yeah.
Like, especially Mikey. Mikey sounded completely inappropriate.
Yeah, Mikey and...
I think...
they went too much on Donatello, like,
No, I love what they do with Donatello.
I don't know, he looks too militarized for me. I mean, he was supposed to be kind of...
Dude, have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Okay, well, Donatello, I like that they geeked him out.
Donatello, not the Leonardo.
Not Leonardo. Leonardo
Donatello
is the leader.
Is the nerd.
Yeah, I know, but the goggles just... I don't know.
It's the nerd goggles, dude.
No,
it's like
it looks like Sam Fisher goggles.
They look like anime goggles to me.
I don't know what kind of anime you've been watching.
Well, you know, the old school ones.
They remind me of modified Insano goggles, kinda.
Kind of.
The fuck are you getting Insano goggles from? Anyway, so
I did like the designs of the turtles. With regard
to everything else.
Overall, they were the turtles.
Yeah,
minus the face.
Yeah,
minus
and also
face.
Megan. That was Megan Fox's April O'Neil, correct?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Yeah, she had the personality of Wood.
Well, you know.
She had like a one.
Well, you know why Megan.
Also,
Fox
technically, she did kill the Shredder in that one.
Yeah, you want to know why Megan Fox was chosen for this role, right?
Because she's too busy for Michael Bay. She's too busy.
Well, yeah, but I mean that I meant to put it less awkwardly, because he did work with her in Transformers.
Yes.
To be honest, I think if they
work in open air quotes.
Anyway, if they had actually gone for the jumpsuit thing, that might have worked out a bit better for me personally.
Honestly, though, it wouldn't have saved it for me there.
April O'Neil was supposed to be pandering. It would have been pandering.
It would have been pandering, but it would have been pandering that they needed. Which
exactly.
they didn't need with the original Jim Henson puppet movies. April O'Neil was a personality. A likable one. A relatable one. A funny one.
To be honest, I never watched...
Okay. Let me ask you this then. Oh, go ahead, Zero.
To be honest, I never watched the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I watched the version after that, the one...
The Fox Kids one.
The Fox Kids one.
Right.
And so I'm more familiar with that April O'Neil, who I like a lot more. She was smart, she was funny, she was resourceful, and she was, quite honestly, a good character.
She was still like that in the classics.
She was still like that.
But she was always kidnapped in the 80s version.
To be fair, that's kind of a trope for the era itself, not necessarily for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Your princess is in another castle.
But
fucking it!
But let me put it this way: who would you guys have put in?
Who would we have put in? Difficult to say.
Difficult to say because
a good actress. I would have found a good actress. Not just someone I'd worked with before, but someone who I knew could fill the part and understand the role.
And I think that kind of mentality is what Michael Bay didn't do, and that's why we have this situation.
Yeah, I was thinking he was more thinking of focusing on her boobs.
Which, literally, they do in, like, the first 20 minutes.
Exactly.
Though I did
Michael
like
Bay is a fucking pig.
However, they did do something funny with the opening for April O'Neil. Introducing her. She's basically like that cutesy show host at first, and she's trying to do like bigger stories. Like she wants to be
I do remember that.
I remember,
but then they have her jumping on a trampoline and making her do lame jobs. I found that funny. That was funny.
Valid point, but the problem is she couldn't act for shit.
But she couldn't act after that.
To be honest, if we had an actual serious actress, like someone, let's say physically closer to the original April O'Neil, I don't think that would have flown.
Really?
I don't think that would have worked as well as a sexy seagull flying off. By the way, so the point is
that there's going to be a sequel.
Sequel featuring everyone's favorite skull mask wearing idiot, Casey Jones.
I actually liked him again in the
Fox Kids variant because he was bulky.
He was bulky. He was kind of stupid, but he was also
he was like
another Raph.
He was the lovable muscle.
He was the lovable muscle.
He was like a more funny version of Raph.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that's being announced. Michael Bay is, of course, back at the helm again. He's earning more money as before.
It's all about the motherfucking money.
So please enjoy this terrible atrocity that's going to come to your theaters soon.
Enjoy. When I saw this originally, the theater was near empty. There were only 3 people there besides myself.
How far away from opening day was that?
Oh, I don't know how far away it was.
But either way, But either way,
It's just the fact that they were still trying to sell this movie, and the theater was empty.
To be honest, it's still not as bad as Turtles in Time.
yeah, we don't know about that. I mean, Turtles to Time was still a straight to DVD thing, so I mean, no comparison.
Straight to VHS, you mean?
I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
Some bad news.
More bad news.
Fuck.
Sorry for Zelda fans, but Zelda Wii U has been delayed beyond 2015.
Fuck.
Pretty much the only saving grace for Nintendo is we need to hear about Star Fox now, guys.
Yeah.
We really need to hear about that Star Fox.
They originally said they had this plan for later in the year, and they were saying that Star Fox would come out before that game.
So
We need to see Star Fox this year.
Nice.
I may not be a fan of the Star Fox games, but I would still like to see them actually bring that out, because how long has it been since the last Star Fox game?
Star Fox, truly original game was not until back in 2007, 2008 with Star Fox Assault. That was the one that had Crystal officially taking Peppy's slot in the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not since then have we had a new original Star Fox.
There was also Star Fox Command.
Yeah, but that one was weird because it didn't. I played that one before. It just felt too clunky for me.
All right.
Yeah.
And it had some weird bullshit where it was like where it was it had kind of like a multiverse theory with the storyline where you could have Star Fox and Falco even go and become F-Zero pilots.
Okay.
Yeah, they had like the multiple ending shit.
Multiple ending shit that
Although one was considered canon, I recall.
I don't even know because there was like 20 different endings, some of which breaking and shipping people up with one another, which makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah, a lot of things didn't make sense in that game.
So and then
this
the
out.
one after that was, I think, the DS remake of the original.
Okay.
Yeah, the 64 Star Fox, I think.
Alright, I should point this out. Star Fox has been like the game to third party for Nintendo.
Really?
Yeah, it's not.
Oh
very
yeah,
good.
I remember the GameCube version of Star Fox where it was originally based on a dinosaur game.
The Star Fox Adventures.
Star Fox Adventures.
Which is actually which is weird because that one actually is now canon. Because that one explains Crystal's appearance in Assault.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
that one's
again,
kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's weird, but then again, I kind of didn't mind it. It was actually kind of interesting.
Yeah,
it was cool. I mean,
you
mounted a freaking dinosaur like a lion.
It's
To quote a certain game.
it's a Legend of Zelda Star Fox game, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, it could have been done better.
Well, it's a different like Legend said, different person. So I mean,
the thing is, it's always a different person. It's pretty much always a different person taking the helm behind a Star Fox game. Because Nintendo will gladly lease it out to whoever wants to make it because they themselves don't feel they can afford it at sometimes. And it's not even that popular in Japan.
I don't think that's
It's only popular over
entirely
here.
I don't think that's entirely the case because I would imagine that we'd be seeing more titles than we would be then if it was really as discounted as you say.
Yeah.
But the thing that concerns me about this, and this is what I've been hearing from other people, is that we might have another Twilight Princess scenario again.
Oh, you mean a dual console release.
And they come out shite as beyond belief. And that's kind of the concern between the Wii U and possibly the NX.
Yeah.
If that turns out to be a thing for consoles and not a handheld.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's a possibility simply because of the fact that they're delaying it beyond what we would reasonably see.
Okay.
Now, for some more useless news.
Okay, what's on the news list? The Witcher 3 has... Wait, what?
Dynamic beard growth.
That is the most useless update I've ever heard.
It's awesome!
Okay, so this is a feature that they're doing for Witcher 3, and it's basically to show off how awesome their in-time engine is that they can facilitate beard growth on the main character, Geralt.
Oh god, what kind of monster PC do you need to run through this fucking game?
Well, I don't know what kind of PC, but they're going to ship this thing to consoles too.
Oh, that's awesome.
The
They
only way this could be more awesome is you could cut down your beard back to certain levels and groom it.
And, like, basically...
Dynamic beard grooming systems.
So you
We
can
need-
manscape your beard.
Yes,
No,
and it affects the successfulness rate with different girls.
That would be awesome.
Well, sex has always been a favorite part of the Witcher series, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was the thing.
All right. Well, with that stupidity out of the way,
No, I would say that's
Back to
stupid.
some
It's
more
awesome.
awesomeness.
donate blood, get bloodborne.
Where?
Denmark.
Damn it!
To be fair, it's a giveaway, so it's not guaranteed that you'll get Bloodborne, but it's still a nice gimmick.
I like the idea, to be honest. Jerry,
Have either of you ever given blood?
I've never been able to afford it, honestly.
What do you mean afford it?
I'm not that. Back then, I didn't have good bulk. I didn't trust in my.
You were.
I was already.
You were 1 pint away from passing out as normally.
That's what I felt like. Yes.
Yes.
And then when I got into stuff like Taekwondo, I started being unable to do it even then, but for different reasons.
I think that's
Because I was a working athlete and I couldn't afford to miss a day.
Well, you know that it's actually supposed to be really good for you just to give blood because it goes ahead and it makes your body burn energy to make new fresh blood.
thing is.
Maybe.
I think I'm too dehydrated to ever give blood. I think.
Oh no, they'll just hydrate you up. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Well, the thing is, when
I would imagine for you would be the poking.
yeah, that, and I don't think back then when I could have donated blood, like at the high school.
Well, I mean, you can still do it now. I mean, it's
Well,
not-
I mean, back then I don't think they would have allowed me because of my orientation to donate.
Oh right, yeah, I completely forgot about that. These, see, this is the shortest shit that I don't think about because I just don't think about it.
Yeah, the thrill of them is I do. So because of my orientation, I wouldn't have been able to donate blood because of a whole fucking HIV scare.
Even though you're like, I mean, you haven't done anything to warrant that.
I'm as pure as the driven snow.
I was gonna say you're about as much of a virgin as either of us. I mean,
Painful but true.
But yeah,
Anyway.
there's that thing. So
oh yeah, that statement. Never mind. And me, I've tried giving blood more than a couple of times. They just can't find the nerves.
you mean
Or
the vein?
The veins.
If they were trying to aim for a nerve, that would be pretty sick and twisted.
Actually, when I had to go in for surgery on my foot once, and they had to put an IV in me. I was so dehydrated they couldn't put a vein in me. The nurse ended up digging into my nerve,
Ooh.
and I was feeling it in my arm for a few days afterwards.
Yeah, that's what happens. But
So they tried both my arms.
but yeah, if you happen to be listening from Denmark, go get Bloodborne.
We do have a few viewers from Denmark. I've noticed.
Seriously, that's awesome.
We've had like 1 or 2 or 3.
Well, let's move to Denmark.
Shout out to Denmark.
Let's move to Denmark and do this PewDiePie thing.
Hell, we've even gotten views in Saudi Arabia.
Damn.
I hope those are ladies.
And we've also been ripped off by Germans.
When?
Zero would know.
Yeah, some German creepypasta artists, like trying to do the Strangled Bread creepypasta, stole my art.
Seriously?
Yes.
Holy shit, we are actually stealable from.
Yes.
That's a landmark. Did you see them afterwards?
No.
Cease and desist.
I sent the note. I sent the message to them. I don't know if they ever fucking got it because I still see the video up there.
All
No
right.
speak English.
Next time I will do the fucking German stuff.
So I had so this is funny related to that is I got an email. I get spam mail. You know, the Nigerian prince, the common one, but
right.
I got one from a Chilean retirement fund. Just the randomness of it. Why the fuck would I want to retire in Chile? So I could go have some Mexican food and go slide with the penguins. Like seriously, like it makes you wonder sometimes. Like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm going to admit this. I got spam from the over 50s single websites. I mean, this is some stupid shit, man.
Yes.
I have not gotten spam, so I think I'm lucky on that account.
Yeah, you don't bother to read them, but if you read some of them, it's some stupid shit.
I
Yeah.
try not to open them because just the act of opening them.
I
open viruses
know it
on
does,
your
but I mean, like the
computer.
title just says it all sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Okay, and then
Then we have Mortal Kombat, the quitality.
The quitality?
All right, go ahead and explain this mechanic, please.
Okay, so as you know, people play online for rank and for prestige and whatnot.
Yes.
And sometimes people who are so butthurt that they get lost will just go ahead, disconnect their system or turn off their system, and they get it disconnects both people, and it comes out a loss on both people's ends.
Uh-huh.
All right.
What Mortal Kombat is doing for their next game is that if you disconnect from a battle, your character's head instantly explodes, and the other person gets the victory.
Oh!
And it immediately says flawless victory, quitality.
Suck it, rage quitters.
You just helped boost my score.
So yeah,
oh, that is brilliant.
So yeah, they wanted to go ahead and make this more pleasing to more comfortable for the person who got disconnected on, and I think they did a rousing success with it.
My hat's off to you, developer of Mortal Kombat.
Okay, Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is already in development. We haven't seen one yet come out in the States, but it already looks like it's going to be pretty good. Jessica, my favorite character from 8, is going to be coming out in that one.
Oh, of course she's your favorite.
Of course, she's everyone's favorite. But so before we get to the Nintendo Direct breakdown, does anyone want to go over their most hated or their most favorite April Fool's pranks?
Well, I'll just go ahead and say this first. We never had a douchebag of the week for this thing, but I have my answer. It's every fucking asshole who decided to do a fucking April Fool's prank. Fuck you!
You want to go ahead and start naming names?
To start off, Maryland. Fuck you!
for his Pokemon Zero and Pokemon Infinity teaser.
Yes. I was half asleep in the morning. Caffeine deprived.
Woke up to that.
I didn't even check Cerebi or anything else, and I was halfway through the video when I realized, oh fuck, it's April 1st. Fuck you.
Other people to note would be Rabbit Luigi, who posted his top 5 Easter eggs, as in literal chocolate Easter eggs.
Yeah, nice.
Pro Jared had one which was titled Top 10 Boobies in Gaming. Which, no, he's scamming you. Top 10 dicks in gaming.
Nice.
Was Alpha Omega Sin. Why don't you talk about Alpha Omega Sin?
He repaired the feud between him and Anita Sarkeesian, and now they're best friends.
Nice.
Just the fact, just the very ad of that, just on my YouTube browsing, on my YouTube searching was like, fuck you, Alpha. That is such an April Fool's prank.
The only one who actually did legitimate work, I think, was Green Scorpion, who did top 10 pranks in video gaming.
Okay.
And that one's actually not too bad because he actually doesn't troll you, except at one point where he attempts to stop the video prematurely.
Oh man. There was one April Fool's joke that I was glad to see today.
What? Today or yesterday?
Well, I heard about it today. It happened yesterday, but I heard about it today. And it was regarding the Deadpool movie.
Oh, really?
Yes. At first I was thinking, oh my god, you're doing a Deadpool movie and announcing it on April 1st? Are you serious? And then even better, they announced it's PG-13? Are you serious? Thankfully,
it was a joke.
Deadpool straightened things out. Slashed the guy who was announcing it was PG-13 and announced to everyone, yes, we are having a Deadpool movie. This is legit. It's going to be rated R, motherfuckers. Yes.
I also, have you seen the picture of Ryan Reynolds in the Deadpool outfit?
Yeah, I've seen
posing sexily in front of the fireplace on a bearskin rug.
Yeah, doing that. Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely.
And it is going to be Ryan Reynolds. It is going to be fucking Ryan Reynolds.
He was sucked as the Green Lantern.
He sucked as a Green Lantern, but he is the Deadpool. No one can pull Deadpool like Deadpool can. Because Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Seriously?
He is canonized as Deadpool. We can't have another person play this role.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. There was one. Okay, there was one more. It wasn't on YouTube. Actually, there is one on YouTube. Every time you went to go search for a motherfucking video, it suggests, oh, were you looking for Sandstorm by Darude?
Yes! Fuck yes! Yes, YouTube! I love it!
I used to like that song back in high school.
And now it just grinds on your gears.
Because it's a meme.
And now it's a meme.
Yes!
Fuck you, internet. Fuck
the
you.
other one.
Yes!
The other one that I got was Dogbox. Which was going to be Red Box with dogs.
Oh, nice.
Oh, actually, we did miss one that Capcom did.
Yeah.
Oh, what did Capcom do?
They re-showed off the new Ace Attorney game that they're planning,
Oh, that one.
but with dogs.
Dog Ace Attorney.
And the thing is, people bought it.
Please be excited.
The only reason they bought it is because they can't read Japanese subtitles.
Please be excited.
Oh my gosh.
It's almost as funny as
So lawyer,
as-
attorney.
it's almost as good as the Supreme Court animals done on last week tonight with John Oliver.
Oh man. I don't remember Google getting into the April Fool's stuff too. They made com.google, which basically reversed everything. Just turned the entire page on its head.
I think there was also one. I think on Google Maps they added a Pac-Man icon, which allows you to play Pac-Man
On the street maps.
On the street maps.
That was actually kind of cool.
It was awesome. It is still awesome.
There was a bunch of other ones.
But let's talk about the main thing that happened on April 1st.
The number one thing, and this is what I will call douchebag on. Nintendo, you couldn't have waited for April 2nd? Because none of us believed this stuff was happening.
Yeah.
Seriously. You can't do this shit.
So everyone's waiting for the next 5 days to see the recantment video come out from Nintendo.
Yeah.
Everyone is holding their breath to see whether or not a recantment video comes out for this. So,
yeah.
Since that's going to be beyond the time this video comes up, we're going to just roll with it anyway.
Okay, what was announced at the E3, which, to be fair, it sounds legit.
At the E3.
Pardon.
But then again, every single Nintendo Direct feels like an E3.
Okay, so.
Nah, I wouldn't say that
Nintendo
far, but
Direct.
either way.
First
So
off,
let's start off with
Mewtwo.
So yeah, a Mewtwo announcement. They showed off his character trailer. They showed off that they will patch the game with Mewtwo releasing. So if you've had balance issues, they will be addressed.
Yes.
And if not, get good, noobs. They also announced that they're going to be adding more customizable costumes for characters.
For the Mii Fighters.
They've got the Smash Brothers T-shirt. They have the furry pack.
Cat and monkey suits.
Cat and monkey suits. They have Dunban's outfit from Xenoblade Chronicles.
They have Link and Skull Kid outfits from Majora's Mask.
Oh,
they have Mega Man X! Oh my god!
And Proto Man!
Can you stop jerking off to Mega Man, Leo?
We've already got enough white stuff from both of our reviews earlier.
You know, we're going to have to clean Azira's the keyboard after this, right? I think it went through the screen protection.
Oh, man. And now we're just getting nasty.
All right.
Oh, that's just plain nasty.
That's terrible right there, TRBL.
Okay, moving.
I think Legend and I are getting into our southern roots there.
There we go. Okay, so other stuff on the list.
Lucas was also announced for Smash.
Downloadable in June.
Which is not bad.
So, the question that's on my mind is this. Are you going to give them a different Smash, guys?
Well, it was a different
Final Smash.
It was a different Smash.
Yeah, but they didn't give him a different... we don't know if
they both got both Ness and Lucas had PK Starstorm.
And it functioned differently for both of them.
Yeah.
I thought it functioned differently only in Project M.
No, it functioned differently for both of them. Nesses would fall, I believe, either straight or scatter. The difference was between falling scatter shot or falling straight down.
Because one worked like an AoE, and the other worked like Lucario's Hyper Beam.
Yes.
That's the way I remember
that's
it.
That's right. They changed Ness's Final Smash up. So we'll have to see.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So I think that's the biggest thing for me about reselling me Lucas back, because I could not give any fucks about Lucas back when he was released.
He was very good, now that I remember.
I hated him even more.
I still don't get why Ness's Final Smash isn't PK Rockin'.
Well...
Because reasons.
But you know what? Starstorm's awesome.
But you know what? You could change that with the Smash Brothers Fighter ballots.
Basically, Nintendo is holding a ballot until October for fan choices for their Smash character.
For other characters who should be included in Smash.
Yes, and all three of us have our picks.
Well,
Yes.
yes. So, I guess I'll go ahead and start off because I have the fewest. Because I actually looked for a whole bunch of games and I was thinking hard about this, and only one came to mind.
The one you want to see is?
Isaac from Golden Sun.
And I can see that. And considering that they did upgrade Little Mac from an assist trophy into a playable character.
And Isaac was an assist trophy as well.
Right.
So I'd like to see that. If you've never played the Golden Sun games, why the hell haven't you? Go get him. Play him now.
I do have to admit, the mechanics are really neat.
Yeah, alchemy, synergy, and Isaac was a sword fighter and a user of earth magic.
Which means he could be a much more... Well, he could be a different kind of Robin.
He could be. Instead of using electric and fire and Nosferatu, he would be... I would say he would be a little bit faster, a little bit more swordsman angled, but he would have, like, earth attacks.
Okay.
And I know what his final smash will be.
Push.
No. Ragnarok! That is like one of the ultimate earth element attacks with his Jins.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, mind if I take the second point?
Go ahead.
Alright.
He's got a list.
I have 3 characters and reasons why I believe they could work. Number 1, Eggman.
Eggman would be pretty OP, man.
That would be awesome. Especially his final smash, which would allow him to basically man one of his robots to just pummel the stage. That would be awesome. And he could be like a sort of tactical character. Instead of like being a straight-up melee, he would be more tactically oriented.
Like
using robots, bombs, and being a general Solid Snake pain in your ass.
So, Solid Snake in the clown car.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Or running the way he does in Mario and Sonic at the Olympics. That would be the best.
Can he be how can he run so fast when he's so fat?
Is streamlined. It's the egg shape. Okay, my second pick.
Aerodynamics my ass.
My second pick for a possible character would be the Inkling.
The Inkling from Splatoon?
Yes, the Inkling from Splatoon, both male and female versions as alternate skins. And I thought of a way that this could work. For instance, using the paint gun to do damage, and it also leaves a little coat on the ground, which you can use to downbeat and travel quickly. So you have to set it up first.
That's not bad. I would only recommend that the aerial recovery has to be nerfed to hell.
Well, the aerial recovery would be a squid rocket, which basically does no damage and is purely for recovery purposes.
Right, but I think that because you're gonna have to have some limited range on that recover move. Like you're gonna have to be for the teleport with the downbeat.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, that's gonna break the game if you're falling up the cliff and you downbeat and you whoop.
No, it has to be paint on the actual solid surface. You can't be falling out of the air and suddenly just warp into paint.
There you go.
Yeah, so it has to be like if you
then it kind of I don't know how that because it basically would be like the Shadow Sneak, but except it doesn't do damage when you pop out.
Yes.
Yeah. It's more evasive.
It's more evasive, I think.
I could see that. I wouldn't find any use
and then
for it.
It could be like Mega Man, like having a normal shot and then a charge shot.
That's true.
Not bad. Not bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, the other thing that I would picture imagining, again, normal special would be the paint gun. The up special would be the squid rocket. The side special would be a sub-weapon. And the down B would be the ink dive, which can only be used if you've used the paint gun first.
And the final smash?
The final smash would be the ink nuke.
Like just,
basically calling in the ink airstrike, basically. There is an ink nuke.
Okay, I haven't seen it then.
It's basically a giant missile. You set it off, and it causes this magnificently large ink explosion. Mm-hmm. And that would be the final smash.
So it would hit, it would explode, there would be like paint on the screen, and it would slip off, and then you would see everyone being shot.
Oh god, it would be more annoying than Nintendogs.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. But it would also be fun as heck. Now, my third and last contender is Ephraim from the Fire Emblem Sacred Stone.
Oh, of course it is.
Of course, why not? We have enough Fire Emblem characters.
To be fair,
with swords.
To be fair, he's a spear user.
Yes, Ephraim is a spear user, meaning that he could do different stuff that the others simply can't.
Is there a mage in Fire Emblem?
Yes,
You're
there's tons
looking
of
at
them.
him.
There's plenty of them.
You've been looking at him and hating me for it ever since he came out.
Robin.
Yes.
There's also, like, not to go ahead and say that he's one of mine, but I would like to see a more lively character from the Fire Emblem roster. For example, Henry.
Oh, shoot, Henry.
There's so many jokes that Henry can pull for his taunts that it's awesome.
Yes, I would love to have him like do a different taunt with every single press of the button.
To be fair, Tharja would be funny just because Robin's also part of the game.
Oh, God. No!
Tharja is 1 degree away from a tsundere.
No, she
is 1 degree away from being the worst yandere ever.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Thankfully, she is shippable with every other character, almost every other character.
And yet she still has a fascination with female Robin, too.
Although, regardless of who you pair her up with, if it's not Robin, there will always be a little side trope saying that it wasn't as good.
Something like that.
Something like that. But so yeah, Ephraim, I could see that.
I was half tempted.
And just, you have any comments on his possible moveset?
His possible movesets, I could think of a kind of variation on some of the other moves. For instance, having him, do the typical Fire Emblem counter on his down B. His up special would be aimable, is one thing that I would like to change.
Like a javelin throw? Like a chain javelin throw that would allow him to recover?
If that was something that he could do in the original games,
well, because the general class soldiers have, when they do spear attacks, they actually launch them from a chained spear. So I know that Ephraim doesn't actually become a general class, but there is a precedent with it within the series.
Okay, so that would make his
and compared to swords, it wasn't until recent that we had the Lament sword,
right,
which was the first
ranged.
Well, not
sword.
just no. There were the blazing sword. It was a ranged sword, but it was the first ranged sword that wasn't like a plot weapon.
Oh, okay.
So it was the first mass-produced sword that could be given to other characters. The only problem is the Lament sword bases off of magic, whereas the javelin, short spear, tomahawk, hatchets all base off the use regular weapon attack.
Right.
So the swords, unfortunately, have that one flaw in that they never have a ranged attack. And even then, the one that they do, unless you're a magic build, doesn't really help you.
So giving Ephraim a ranged attack on his up B, that also gives him recovery.
Yeah, you get much better recovery compared to any of the other ones.
Arguably speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. His side B would be, I would like to call it a combination between a Ike quick draw and the multi-hit off the dancing blade.
Kind of like, I was going to say...
kind of like spear?
Like a rush spear.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember, because I think that's one of the custom moves for the sword amiibo.
Right. And it could work with a spear.
Yeah.
And the other thing...
I think it would have better range, too.
Yes, and that's the other thing about Ephraim. Since he's a spear user, he would have a disconnected hitbox.
Oh.
Which makes him much more technical.
Much more technical, and much more annoying to get up to.
To be fair, though, he would need to be kind of like Marth in the fact that that you have to hit with the tip to get the most effective reach,
right?
Which would be another subsystem you could play around with.
Mm-hmm. As for his smash attacks, the side smash is definitely going to be a thrust. It's going to be a thrust. It's a spear. You're going to need a thrust. Mm-hmm. But I could imagine feasibly using a 2-hit on that one. The first hit doing less damage than the second, and the second one doing more damage and having more knockback.
You can also have the down smash be the circle sweep, like almost to go ahead and rip off Dark Souls again. The halberd spin.
That could
on
work.
a lower angle, just to show it off. I know because the swords usually have like a double swipe, but not necessarily a full 360 motion.
That would be good.
Yeah.
So.
That would work.
So yeah,
I guess his up would be like maybe a wide swing of his spear overhead,
or it could just be a up, which would put Marth's sword to shame.
Yes, exactly.
It would be Palatina's up smash height.
Oh, near that. I wouldn't say all the way. I think Palutina still would have him beat, but I would say definitely it competes with that range.
Mm-hmm. Now, the one thing I can't imagine though is his neutral beat.
Neutral B?
Yes, his neutral B.
Neutral B would have to be the charge hit.
The charge hit. So it would be a shield breaker.
Because I know, but you don't have much more to work with.
I think it could be something awesome though.
Could it be like a guard?
I do have an idea, but
I think I have something that could work.
what?
Something that works along the same lines as the Wii Fit Trader.
Which is
The deep breathing. Instead, it's called Focus.
Yeah.
Which would improve his attack and knockback. But it takes time to charge.
maybe.
Mm-hmm. Now, finally, his final smash. What I would call his final smash. He gets on the horse.
Yeah, I was gonna say get on the horse.
He gets on the horse.
And he stampedes.
Just runs you down.
It basically Ganon, smaller hitbox, but it hurts more.
Mm-hmm. And I would say slight aiming, but not very much.
But not much. Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
At most 20 degrees deviation.
Okay, no problem. I could see that being viable.
All right, then. So your choices, Leo.
All right,
Go for
so
it.
I have. Before I go into this, I just thought of an honorable mention for Ephraim, Waddle Dee.
Waddle Dee.
The spear Waddle Dee.
Oh!
Just to add that in because you can do so much more with that character. I mean, he freaking spins his spear to fly. Who competes with that?
That is adorable.
Exactly. But
It's adorkable.
no, it's adorable. But to go ahead and go into my 3 characters that I would like to add to Smash. For starters, I think that there's a series that is totally underrated by a lot of people, and it's one of the series that I have a love-hate relationship with. I think that the combat system is amazing. The storyline can get on my nerves way too often. But I think there's one character from this series who you would both agree with me deserves to have a fighting game appearance.
And that would be?
Kratos from Tales of Symphonia.
Oh.
Oh, man.
So think of a more physically based Robin.
Oh, shoot. What would his Oh, shoot. He already has a final smash.
Yeah, he already has
a
final
signature
smash.
move, Shining Bind.
Yeah.
Oh.
And pretty
He can
much
fly, basically.
it works. The character writes itself.
His air recovery would be him using his angel wings to fly up.
No, that would be a little too broken. What I could imagine him using, though, would be rising... something along the lines of his up spear.
I would say, doesn't he learn Thunderblade?
He does learn Thunderblade, which could be a...
Which I could see. Alternatively, you could also put in Zero from the Mega Man X series, because you already have classic Mega Man in there. And he would function more or less around the same lines. He has elemental slashes. He can move all sorts of crazy different ways.
Alright,
And
but he has a different means of moving.
Instead of magic, it's tech. So he has one of the things he can do is he has a double jump, and he can do a double jump into a lightning blade. He has air dashes, and one of the moves that he actually gets in an earlier game is an air dash, which when he hits you, he actually does damage.
Okay.
But it's not to the crazy extent of like say Greninja.
Okay.
With the shadow sneak kicks.
Okay.
But it's more of a predetermined distance that it eventually peters out.
Okay.
Second, this character really found a home in the Nintendo pocketbook. So there's already a precedent for M-rated characters, so we might as well toss her in. Bayonetta.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Now the main
You know what? That probably would be another choice, but I would have to say they would maybe have to tone down.
They're gonna have to do some censoring, no doubt.
We need some. If they want to keep this rated T, they're going to have to cut a lot of stuff down.
Again, the biggest thing is I think they're gonna have to keep her to guns, blades, and explosions.
Yeah.
Because I think all of those already exist in some shape or form.
Right.
But the other thing is no summons, because as we know what happens with Bayo and summons,
She uses
that's
her
going to jump up it's not even the material that matters, is that she gets more scantily clad.
Yes.
So we're going to have to cut that out. I think the Final Smash would need to be something either Jean comes in and does a double team maneuver.
Honestly.
Or, actually, I just thought of it.
What?
Okay, so there's a super in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 with the character Morgan Ainsland.
Uh-huh.
And she basically creates a shadow copy of herself that appears on the opposite side of the screen. And basically whatever action you perform, she performs. So and basically it allows you to double team the opponent from the sides.
All awesome ideas, but there is one thing that I do want to say about Bayonetta.
Yeah.
I don't think we would be doing her justice if we censored her.
True.
Yeah.
And I think that would do her a bigger disservice, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, look what happened when we gave Zero Suit Samus rocket boots the first week we heard about it.
Yeah,
but that comes from a different crowd, mind. Don't confuse fan loyalty with the Anita Sarkeesian crowd, because that's exactly where that heat came from.
Yeah.
That came from the Anita Sarkeesian crowd.
Although
Alright,
that
fair
same
enough.
crowd hates Bayonetta.
The same crowd hates Bayonetta, but in order to keep Bayonetta true to herself, and for why we love her, her sheer lack of shame.
There would need to be some serious changes, and if that were the case,
if she were to be introduced,
it would jump the rating up obviously to an M.
yes,
Yeah.
it
So
would.
I mean, and
they couldn't allow that.
Yeah.
yes,
honestly.
exactly.
I will say that after you said Marvel vs. Capcom, it got me to thinking. I do have another choice.
Go for it.
Amaterasu from Okami.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that
I mean,
could be fun.
I mean, they already have the fighting game implements from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so I don't see a reason why not, personally.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of... My only thing about it would be that she would be another Duck Hunt dog character. And
really?
yeah, absolutely. She would just... Instead of being focused on the keep-away game, she would be more projectile-based.
Projectile-based or using her brushes?
Well, again...
Well, actually, that could probably be her final smash.
It's still not a physical attack. But that's my point, is that she would be, instead of actually hitting and running like Duck Hunt is, she would actually be more akin to Mega Man in using that to range.
I wouldn't say that because she does have offensive capability. She does fling her mirror shield, her rosary beads.
Yeah, but
she has a sword on her back.
Yeah, but I mean, if you've ever watched Amaterasu play, that's not how people use her. She's used to go, and actually, one of the final smashes that she one of the supers that she has, is super reminiscent of Luigi's Negative Zone, in which she goes ahead, summons the mists, and everyone else but her slows down in the arena.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that was one of her spells.
So I mean, the system is already there, and all you would need to do is just implement it in the smash. So it wouldn't require too much reworking of the wheel.
Yeah,
all right.
I would actually like to see that. They've done it for Marvel vs. Capcom. I would like to see her in Smash.
Because Mega Man already had an appearance in the first 2 games of Marvel vs. Capcom. So they really didn't have to put too much effort into making Mega Man reappear here.
No.
So, but they play very similarly. So what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, they can do that. But they're not going to play like the way you think it is.
I know.
All right.
So,
but I do think that like maybe her final smash would be like maybe her summoning the sun, and it would cause like beams of light.
No, I don't know about that, because the one that they have in 3 for her has her summoning fire, ice, and lightning spells all in unison.
Oh wow!
And that is much more devastating.
You know,
in my personal
that would
opinion.
actually be pretty awesome. Or the cherry bomb.
Cherry bomb. That would be a big bang.
That would be a good finisher.
All right. Now, what's your third?
And the third one, I really didn't have a third one until you mentioned Fire Emblem. And since you mentioned Ephraim, I'm going to go ahead and toss in my other favorite character to go ahead and supplement the weapon triangle.
Which would be?
Hector.
Oh, we haven't had an axe character yet.
No.
We do not have an axe character from any series, and we do not have an axe character from Fire Emblem. So, axes, this is what I would imagine. Neutral B is going to be a wind-up. Because one of the critical hit animation for his signature weapon, Armat, in the final game, he has the axe swinging above his head. And it's a giant fucking axe.
Like, I am not going to walk away from this axe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would imagine it being much like the Sun Salutation, except it has the effect of Great Ether when it connects. It's going to hurt if he. It's basically a delayed. It's actually kind of reminds me of the wind-up punch. Actually, now that I think about it.
From like Lil Mac.
No, DK's wind-up.
Ah, so it just winds it up, and he can just hold it.
And then he can hold it, and then when you're not expecting it, boom, boom, and that's it.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Side B is going to be tomahawk throws, because like Ephraim, like spear users, he does have a distance weapon.
So you want to make a mixed character that throws projectiles and
So,
smashes things with an axe?
Except it's not just it's a cross between the metal blade and the boomerang, because it will hit through any character within its range before coming back, but it's going to hurt a lot more than the boomerang.
If that's the case, he's probably not going to have a very good aerial
No,
recovery.
well, he's not going to have a very good aerial recovery because I don't imagine what that's going to be for Axe, but Hector himself would have better jumping ability.
Okay.
I
He would
would
have decent jumping ability, but he'd have like a crap recovery.
Yeah, kind of. It's a little bit kin to Little Mac. The other thing to consider is that Hector himself is a bit more of a brash character. He's compared to Marth, Lucina, even Robin to some aspect, he's a lot more foolhardy and a lot more charismatic. So I can definitely see him pulling some shenanigans as far as his moves go.
All right.
Man.
There's also the thing to consider that not all the Fire Emblems stay with a consistent motif, stay within the binds of their games. I mean, his Up Ether, Ike's Up Ether was not. I don't think that was a thing, was it?
I don't know. I never played Radiant Dawn.
Well, I do know for a fact that there was no such thing as a freaking dolphin jump or a dolphin swing for Marth or Lucina. So.
Yeah, that was
So,
something.
I mean, there is a bit of suspension of disbelief, but I would say that compared to the other characters, he would have a shitier air recovery, but he's a lot. I would say he's as bulkier, if not bulkier, than Ike.
Ooh.
Ooh, boy.
And lastly, for
in exchange, we could make him slightly slower.
slightly
while
slower,
walking.
yeah, again.
Yeah.
But the last thing for his final smash, because he has a very important role in Roy's story. Mainly dying at the beginning, near the start of the game.
Let's send the character out to die.
Well, that's actually part of the backstory with Armad's. His signature gear is that he has to die in battle, or he will die in battle.
Okay.
So for his final smash, I would figure it would be a cutscene smash in which he attacks the foes and he basically pummels him to the point that until Hector falls, and it shows him basically cleaving enemies in the middle of a giant battlefield before before taking a last breath standing, Benosuke style. I mean, he wouldn't actually die, but it would basically
Benkei
style. Sorry,
Benkei.
Benkei style. And basically, he would not stop fighting until everyone was done. He was the last one standing.
But a final smash that ends you.
It doesn't end you. That's the way it looks.
Ah.
But it basically shows him clearing out hordes endlessly and includes the enemy character.
No.
Alternatively, we could have it that it does include the entire party, but everyone on the battlefield. But in the exchange, it also knocks him out as well.
Either
Which
that
would be very interesting as far as a final smash goes.
Actually, it would be cool if maybe instead of knocking it out, maybe brought him to like 99 or like 100% damage.
Or high damage. I mean, that's another option too. But I feel like something related to the myth of Armax itself would be very important, especially compared to Ike, who has Ragnell as his sword, and Robin, who has the tomes that are very realistic to the realm of Fire Emblem. So having something that relates to Armad's lore would be very interesting to me.
Okay.
And lastly, if you were to have both Ephraim and Hector in the game, you could implement the weapon subsystem.
Well,
Toss out a couple of sword wielders, add more characters from the other two classes in, and we might have something.
Yeah. But I don't think that'll happen. But
I don't know about that, because I mean, Lucina did get a lot of flack for being a clone character.
True.
And Crom would have been the same way as well.
Yeah, he would have been basically a clone of Ike.
I would have gone with a clone of Mark, but whatever.
Probably
Either
more
way-
like a Roy clone, maybe.
Either way, we would have had another clone anyway. So I think if you kept it at Ike and Marth, got Ephraim and another spear user, like maybe Nephany or Sully, to tease Legends taste.
She was the first one I married. She was the first one that I actually got anywhere close with an S rank with because I didn't want to mess around with everyone else.
And
Yet.
and then you have
Vake?
Hector. You could have Vake. I mean,
Good God,
Hector and Vake. That would be awesome.
Enter the Vake.
And then for magic
Oh
wielders,
my.
I don't think that there's any comparison between Robin and the only other character who could possibly hold a candle, Aversa.
Aversa would be difficult.
Well, would you
She would have more spook physics than...
Would you prefer Tharja? Would you prefer Tharja? I guess your choices are Aversa or Tharja.
Well,
and by the way, I've seen fan fiction with both. Both in Robin, so I mean, there's that.
What about Muriel?
Because the reason I like Tharja is because she's on a horse.
What you mean?
Dark Rider class.
I see.
So, there's, compared to all the other characters, with the exception of, like, if you put in someone like Sumia or Jerome, who are mounted units by default, I mean, she would be the only magic spellcaster. She would only be the flying spellcaster, I'm sorry.
Huh.
So, I
wonder what a mountain character in Smash would be like.
Mountain character?
Mounted!
Oh, mounted.
Well, we do have a mounted character.
Wario.
And Bowser Jr.
Yeah.
Well, I think Wario would work slightly better as far as the idea of a horse is concerned. Because I mean, there is...
I feel like maybe the final Smash for a rider would be to actually get on the horse and...
Yeah, I mean, exactly, but I think, like...
Kind of like how Zero Suit Samus was in, like, Brawl.
I can agree with that. I just think that they should have a more active role if you choose a mounted character.
Alright.
Kind of like Bowser Jr. again. But enough, we've circled for long enough.
Circled?
Okay, if you guys have your own ideas of what you want, let us know in the comments, and also let Nintendo know, because again, your opinion matters.
Finally, for the first time.
Okay, so Amiibos again are coming out. So May 21st is the date for the Pokemon Amiibos, Charizard and Greninja, Pac-Man, Robin, male only unfortunately, Wario, Lucina, Jigglypuff, and Ness.
Which means there's 4 of those that I want to get. Fuck my wallet.
Oh, trust me, it's because I think a little bit after this, the summer of Steam starts, and that's going to be even worse.
Oh, joy.
And then for July, we have Dark Pit and Palutena. 2 more I need to get.
And then lastly, in September, Olimar, Zero Suit Samus, Bowser Jr., Dr. Mario,
and the Dork.
And Ganondorf.
All of which I don't want.
I could use a Ganondorf.
I could use a Ganondorf.
I could use a Zero Suit Samus.
Of course, Leo, you can practically cosplay as Ganondorf.
I'm not going to comment on that last one.
Well, if you just sprayed your hair orange.
No, legend.
There's also Bowser Jr., who is a pain in the butt. And Olimar, I don't know. I've never found very good times with Olimar.
Well, to be fair, Olimar is kind of a dick.
He's nerfed, I think.
Yeah.
He's a lot better when he has 100 Pikmin behind him.
Yeah. Too bad that's not going to happen anymore.
No.
Yeah. Alright, so next up is Nintendo also announced the Tap Amiibo.
Tap Amiibo.
Which basically means you tap your Amiibo to it and you get like a free few minutes of any game you want.
It's a randomized selection of old school games.
Yeah, and each Amiibo you have is assigned to certain games.
Randomly. It's never, like, so, as they demonstrated in the video, 2 of the same Amiibo will give different videos and will give different games anyhow.
Like, one Mario Amiibo might have Super Mario Land, another Mario might have Super Metroid.
Right. It also serves to note that it reminds me a lot of the PS Underground demo games. And basically, I think this is their attempt to market the old classics to be downloaded by the new generation.
Okay.
And it's a free download for the Tap Amiibo, so...
It also is kind of like, trying to remember what...
And with each tap, you can do a different stage in the game.
Okay.
I think that they showed up to like 7 or 9 stages per trial, so, I mean, you definitely get a variety of tastes to see where everything is.
Okay.
The other thing I should note is that, when I did play the, this is also reminiscent of Greatest Hits, which is I kind of want to say it's like a WarioWare style game, which basically works in that you're given snippets of classic games, but you have to do things like time trials and random tasks related to each game.
All right.
And it's timed and you're timed and given rewards for it. So it's really interesting that they're choosing this sort of platform for it.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to. Apparently, Mario has now celebrated its 30th year anniversary.
Huzzah!
30 years.
30 years, and now we get the return of Kaizo Mario.
Yeah.
Officially
Proton
endorsed.
John Beware.
Officially endorsed Kaizo Mario.
Even better.
Yeah. So
Although
Mario.
we can't actually use the word Kaizo. That would
Everyone's gonna fucking call it Kaizo.
We're all going to call it Kaizo, but it won't pass the Japan censors.
We'll see about that.
Because Nintendo's family friendly.
But anyway, so Mario Maker, again, trailer shown. So there's 4 versions of it. There's the classic Super Mario edition.
The 8-bit, the 16, the 32-bit, and the
there's
Super.
there's the Mario Super Mario World 3, Super Mario Land, and then I got the mixed up, but fuck it. And then the new Super Mario.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's kind of move this on.
We gotta move. We're running out of time.
Going too fast, going too slow, going too slow.
All right, quick. Splatoon. Lots of new stuff.
Okay, I was just fucking with you guys.
Lightning round. Let's go.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Okay.
Turf War.
Well-
Domination.
Shut up. We missed one. Yoshi's Woolly World.
Okay, fine. We're going backwards.
They announced plush amiibos for
And
it.
oh my god, they are adorable. Those are adorable.
Yes, they are.
There's a green, there's a pink, and a blue, and I want the blue.
They're plushy.
Yes, they are.
And they look
So cute that every single girl I know now wants one.
like... Seriously?
Yes.
Well, now you know how to talk to a girl now. You get her an amiibo. It's your easiest way in, man! Okay, so they also announced the classic and mellow mode, which allows you to play the game normally, and the mellow mode allows you to play as a winged Yoshi for easy access, which allows you to fly and jump infinitely.
Which I find hilarious.
Mellow
Only the manliest people can place Yoshi's Woolly World on Classic.
That just
No.
sounds wrong.
Exactly! In case this wasn't woolly enough, we have a woollier mellow mode.
Yeah.
You know,
But apparently,
I can't possibly switch over to mellow mode.
Oh, but
So-
apparently the
so-
normal was supposed to be like harder than Yoshi's Island was.
Some of them might be.
Oh, so there's a reason why they're releasing Yoshi Woolly World amiibos for Yoshi, and that is so that way if you don't have a friend available to do couch co-op, you can use the amiibo, and you can still use the amiibo to toss up to reach hidden ledges that would only be accessible in with co-op.
That's pretty cool.
So that's
All
pretty nice. That circumvents a lot of problems for the lonely gamer.
All right, now
To Splatoon.
Splatoon.
They announced quite a few more settings for it.
So there's, in addition to just classic Turf War, which was the 4-on-4, and the single player, we now have domination and duels going on.
Yes, Battle Dojo allows one-on-one confrontations, not against you versus the other player, but you trying to score more than the other player and having to shoot them in the face along the way.
Yes.
There's also Turf Wars, which is the map controlling domination that I'm pretty sure most FPS fans are familiar with.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then they have couch duels where one player uses the gamepad and the other one uses the big screen, like with Hyrule Warriors, which is something I still find funky.
Why?
I don't like using the gamepad.
Oh, I think it's because it has to do something with the frame rate.
I personally have a bigger problem with the Wiimotes because the swinging thing. I wish that it was just a button press and not a swing because my wrist still gives
Hand
out every now and
motions,
then.
hands motion, bitches.
Yeah.
Well,
we're,
it's not just that. I
we're
mean, my
getting
wrist is.
we're getting wanker's cramp at 23.
It's different for me because I actually had surgery on my
know,
wrist.
I know.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so there's also amiibos for Splatoon.
They
So
have a special 3 amiibo pack which has a squid
orange girl, blue boy, and a green squid.
Which I am also calling. We could still use this for Smash. We already have the amiibo set up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We kind of do. So the actual amiibos for the Inklings for Splatoon are going to give you special missions to complete, which rewards you with amiibo only weapons and gear.
Which is pretty cool.
So
Alright.
only the OP people are going to go ahead and have the Squid Girl in their shelf wall if they don't already have one.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Japan.
Yeah. Alright, next up, we have new news for the Virtual Console.
Lots of new games for the Nintendo 64 and Nintendo DS, which I think they should have done this to begin with.
They still have not done Game Boy Advance and GameCube games for the Virtual Console, but small steps.
Small steps, okay. Various configurations for the Nintendo 64. You can basically change the control layout so that you don't get the crap Nintendo 64 controller.
Yeah, and also, if you purchased a Nintendo 64 game on the original Wii console, you actually get a special discount on your Wii U version. Like, instead of $6, it's $2.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, which, if I recall, I have Paper Mario, which I can now transfer over here, which means we'll have better resolution for it.
Yes.
And we can do an LP of that game.
There's also other games such as DK64, Yoshi's Island DS, Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 7. So plenty to choose from.
Yes. Okay.
And then we have a couple of indie titles also coming to the Wii U.
Here's the indie horror corner again.
Adventures of Pip features the individual adventure of a pixel who wants to go ahead and actually become the character of his own video game.
And he steals the power to become that main character from the monsters that he kills.
Only to de-evolve and use the energy to go ahead and blow up obstacles in his way.
There's almost something poetic about this.
It is.
Yeah.
Octodad Dadliest Cat.
Don't give
Makes
a
its big splash onto the Wii U.
Do not care. Let's move on.
Oh, it's funny as hell. They also include a game variant where you can basically play one player per tentacle.
Up to 4 tentacles.
4 tentacles.
It's-
For madness. Because there will always be that one douche.
Clop has nothing on this.
Yes. So that's hilarious.
Don't Starve Giant Edition.
Which basically means when you buy it, you get a second free copy, which you can send to someone else.
Well,
So you can do co-op.
Well, the Giant Edition also has the updates from Don't Starve and Don't Starve Together, which is the co-op patch, which is why it's being bundled with 2 copies per purchase.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the reason for that.
Next up, we have Dementium Remastered.
Oh,
Because we don't have enough horror on the Wii U.
This game was legendary on the DS. I would actually love to play it if I got the chance to find it.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
It's supposed to be really good, actually.
So it is coming, and that's coming to the Wii U.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
And then lastly, there's Never Alone.
Which looks like a cute platformer.
It's a cute platformer with Eskimo.
Yes.
With an Eskimo theme.
It looked pretty cute and cuddly.
All right.
Predicted ends in tragedy.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
The next one, which is something that I was waiting for a fucking long time.
So you're gonna add to the white stuff too?
Shut up. Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem crossover finally confirmed! Yee!
It looks more like Persona.
Oh, don't kill my mood, man. Don't kill my mood.
But it does. Don't deny it. But then again, that's what makes it good.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless something terribly tragic happens to them after the first 50 minutes, I'm not convinced this is a Shin Megami Tensei game. I'm convinced this is Persona.
But it didn't look like they had personas.
Anyway.
So.
Okay, other stuff we've got. Box Boy. There's only 2 words I have for this game that made me instantly like it.
What?
Box Ninja.
Box Afro.
Box Afro.
It's actually a viable tactic to make an afro.
This thing reminds me of a freaking game from middle school algebra. The box one that you would move around?
Okay.
Pokemon Rumble World is also coming out.
That looks like it's going to be crazy.
Oh god, I'm not a big fan.
I actually want to check this out.
Apparently it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Why not?
Eh.
Hey, it looks like a fun little spin-off.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't pay $50 for it, but hey, it's free.
Don't you also have to buy like little toys for it?
No,
No,
not
you
this-
don't. I
No,
don't
the
think so.
toys are just in-game.
Ah.
Let's see what else do we have here. We have Puzzle and Dragon Z and Puzzle and Dragon Super Mario Brothers.
When the Nintendo Direct said that they were coming up with a new Mario RPG, I was thinking, are they going to make a proper Paper Mario? And then I saw that.
Nope.
And I was like, fuck you.
Nope. Soul-crushing defeat.
Yeah.
So I do have to admit, the Puzzle and Dragon Z looks like it could be interesting.
It's basically Bejeweled with an RPG twist.
That sounds cool.
They've done it before.
I know, and I don't like it.
Well, it doesn't mean I'm not going to try it.
Ugh.
I'm gonna wait and borrow it off of someone like Legend, and then I might go buy it depending on how much I like it.
Well,
I
wait for a
bought,
price drop.
well,
if anything like that.
I've bought those games before, and sometimes they're good, and sometimes they're meh.
All right.
So I mean, it's always your mileage will vary. The next game on the list was more interesting, however.
Yeah, this one I think blew a lot of anime lovers' minds.
Attack on Titan: Humanity in Chains.
Yeah.
They are going there.
Yeah.
They are going there.
The hype is real.
And if to sweeten the deal, you get the first two. You could start watching the first 2 episodes from the eShop when it comes out.
Yep.
Wow.
How epic is that?
The thing is, are they going to be in Japanese subtitles or English dubbed?
No, it's going to be Japanese subtitles, I think.
I don't think. Well, they do have a dub version, so I mean, it's possible.
Yeah. Though, I wonder, since Attack on Titan is really, really mature content, even among anime standards, would it fly with parental controls for the kids in their video games?
I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to. There's gonna be a parental lock on it,
All right.
and then you have to know the code to get around it.
Or you have to put in your birthday.
Or whatever. Anyway, Codename Steam patches fast forward feature into the game.
It wasn't there before?
No, it wasn't.
So that means things were cripplingly slow in some points?
That's why the reviews were so shitty.
Oh, joy.
So now they're fixing that, so all those scores are complete shit now.
But hang on. That means that they were able to patch something that they got wrong the first time.
Yeah.
So we're now in an era where we can actually release a game and fix the mistake after the release.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been in that era for years now.
Yeah, but this is really the first time that I've seen Nintendo taking this many steps on their games.
Well,
like actually listening to these critiques.
Well, I mean, even there's some crippling things that they had to do patch anyway, like the freaking the glitch save in X and Y.
Yeah.
So I mean, if they had launched that as is, that would have been terrible.
And left that in there.
Yeah.
So they did that to save face.
Yeah, they really did that. What else we have? So Me Plaza's getting some renovations.
Who gives a fuck?
I don't know. I mean, they're doing fishing. If there's any more thing casual, I can't think of it more than a fishing game.
Okay.
I actually like fishing. I actually like fishing in some of the games I've played.
So why wouldn't you want to take a chance at the Me Plaza game?
Because I don't want to spend the $5 to get this add-on.
All right.
Okay.
I ain't that cheap.
But what about Xenoblade Chronicles on the 3DS?
I beat it on the Wii U. Do I want it on the 3DS to take
Do
around
you
with?
want it in your pockets?
Do I want to be able to listen to the awesome music on my headphones, even with the game system closed?
Yes.
Fuck, I don't have the money for this shit.
I can imagine Shulk just walking around in a skimpy outfit with the Monado teasing people.
Fucking hell.
We're really failing it.
All right. What else we got?
The big one.
Fire Emblem, the 2016 game.
Good God, I'm looking forward to this
The
one.
2016 game, mind you.
Yes, and take your time, fellas. Take your time.
No shit.
So, for the first time, you are actually the main lord of the game.
Yes,
And
you are the Lord, and
let's see. You were born Hoshido, and you were raised in Nor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
which means in the story you will have to make a choice. Either your birthright or the people who raised you.
So, social commentary on nature versus nurture. What a coincidence.
But the fact that we have a dual path for the first time in a Fire Emblem game
makes me wonder. Apparently, if you're going for the peace-loving Hoshido, it's actually supposed to be more like of a traditional Fire Emblem.
Right.
If you go for the Noah one, you're actually going to have a harder time as you're trying to turn the political situation in that area inside out.
Now, see, I don't like that.
I
don't like the idea of the campaign is harder because you choose a different side. I hate that.
I could run with it.
No, I believe the plot's supposed to be more engaging, not it's actually supposed to be harder.
Okay, because that's not the way they alluded it.
It could be harder, and that could be fun.
I disagree with you. I think that's a load of bullshit.
Because Fire Emblem's hard enough as is?
No, because it's basically saying, take the pussy route if you can't handle Fire Emblem. And I mean, even on normal difficulty, like, you remember Donnie's mission, right?
Good God, Donnie's mission.
I mean,
I got good at it, but
I was playing normal, and that was a bear.
Yeah, I
mean, that's the way it should be. It should be that the encounters are difficult, not the... Because, I mean, if you tie difficulty with a alignment system, you're basically saying the evil route is always the hardest. Or the evil route is always the hardest because evil is bad, good should be easy.
I don't think the Noah route is supposed to be the evil route. I believe
You are
Well,
the king-
good.
I don't know. It looks like it.
the king certainly
It
did
looks
look
fucking
evil.
like it.
The king certainly did look
So
evil.
again, if they actually make it,
And the fact is that we saw the white.
if they make it more of a matter of politics that affect the character relations, I'd be okay with that. But if they actually alter the campaign to where there's an obvious schism and difficulty, I'm gonna call bullshit.
I don't think it'll be an
That's
obvious.
not what I read. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off.
What I was saying was, it's not going to be like it's just suddenly going to spike the difficulty. What I'm saying is, you might have more battles. Like
No,
you might
but this is something similar they've done to another RPG called Front Mission, and that one was a mech strategy RPG where you had two campaigns. One, you follow the good United States characters, which is the normal campaign, and then you have the hard campaign, which takes point from the German opposite point, the German counterpoint. And the German counterpoint is harder off of the first mission than the United States area.
Okay, now I should point this out. You still have the same number of battles from what I've seen from what they're talking about in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's the same number of battles, which means what really is happening is you're just taking a different side, and you get a sort of different outcome to each battle.
Yeah.
I hope that turns out to be the case. What I don't want to see is an altering of difficulty between the two.
If
Yeah,
that's
that
the
I don't
case,
think.
I'm going to start one game, and then I'm going to make a copy of the save file and do one route one way and one route the other.
Right.
That could work.
That being said, good luck trying to do an all relationships version on that, because that means you have four save files to go through. Two for the male,
shit,
and
you're
two for the
right!
males.
And I still haven't even finished the one with Fire Emblem Awakening!
Well,
You might as well give up on that now.
Well,
I'm not giving up.
you got until 2016 to finish it before this comes out.
and then you'll have it until 2018 for the next
It's not
game.
an ultimatum, but it is a goal of mine, still long-standing. Anyway, moving on.
It isn't a scene, it's an arms race.
Next up, they did announce the Amiibo cards. The problem is, it's for an Animal Crossing game.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, they're testing the market.
Yeah. It's called the Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer Set, where you basically design homes for animals, and each card is for a different animal.
Okay, that's pretty neat.
Again, I think it's just because I can definitely see that being appealing, because I like the idea of creating your own house and doing stuff. I hate the idea of the slice of life aspect to it. That
Like
kind
the
of,
whole fishing for
that
money.
makes it addicting.
The whole fishing for money, catching bugs.
Actually having to work for my money
So I
instead
mean,
of beating up monsters and getting it.
yeah, I mean that sort of thing. so I can see a certain appeal to that. It also comes with a card reader for the 3DS, which means it might possibly expand in the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you don't, that's only for the old 3DS, not for the new.
Right,
3DS.
the new 3DS is automatically have Amiibo connection, but for the old ones, it can be done through Wi-Fi or
Okay.
Blu-ray, whatever.
And then
All right,
speaking of Animal Crossing, Mario Kart has had another patch.
Mario Kart's added a lot of stuff.
The Animal Crossing pack features villager male and female, everyone's favorite secretary Isabelle,
She finally got time off so she could go kart racing.
and Dry Bowser.
Which confuses me. Why is that in the Animal Crossing?
Because fuck logic, we need to put him in here.
And this was the only place he would fit.
And we have it also comes with 4 new vehicles,
2 cars and 2 scooters.
2 scooters, and then 2 new course,
8 additional courses.
8 additional courses or 2 track sets.
Yeah.
Alright.
As well as... Sorry.
There's Amiibo compatibility with Mega Man, Pac-Man, Sonic, Toad, Wario, Villager, Rosalina, Bowser, and all of our new gear for your Mii drivers.
Awesome.
And then...
The big one. This blew
This-
me away.
Is amazing. This is one of I am so baffled that you still don't like Mario Kart, but my god, I lost it when I saw this.
Okay, they had 50cc,
Easy.
100cc,
Medium.
150cc.
Hard.
They have now released a 200cc cup!
Drag race for the win!
So, if you...
The sheer speed coming off of these carts now!
I hated Mario Kart 7. I could not beat 150cc.
Mario Kart
not-
7 I could understand. But,
Mario Kart 8 is actually okay.
yeah, this looks phenomenal. the sheer speed and skill coming off of these cards. Holy crap!
Talk about get good.
I think I think this is total pandering to the hardcore crowd, and I think they succeeded.
Yeah! Holy crap! I think we're.
If they make it 250cc,
I don't think they
I don't
could.
think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so
You'll
with
basically be going warp speed at that point.
But I
Because
think-
they're going that fast.
I hope the AI mounts up in addition, because it wouldn't be Mario Kart without it.
it wouldn't be Mario Kart without the trolling.
Oh, yeah.
Without the
But-
rubber band AI.
Was Mario Kart ever a really big competitive thing? Like, were there ever tournaments for it?
No, not as far as I knew. Like it wasn't on EVO or anything. But by God, if you had a beef with someone, Mario Kart back in the day was one of the ways to go ahead and deal with it.
Because they would get just as beaten up as you did.
Aye.
All right.
Alright.
So, what's coming up on the channel?
More Let's Play.
Dark Souls is almost finished recording, guys.
Yeah, we've almost finished our recording session, so
We're deciding on what to do next.
So if you guys have any ideas as to what games we should play,
And remember, Nintendo is now open as an option.
So Xbox, Wii, and Wii U.
yeah, Xbox 360, Wii U. That's basically all I can play until I get a converter for my 360.
PS3.
My PS3, I mean.
We also did have a Ravenloft section, but because of the sheer magnitude of this video, we're going to release that separately.
Yeah. So expect that to come afterwards.
Lastly, probably, I would say late April, early May, we might finish recording some of our type reviews.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Possibly.
Probably not.
Alright,
Those
and we-
videos are always going to give us hell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we might...
We
We
need more animators, in all fairness. That's what we really need.
We need animators, period.
We need animators and I need time to actually record.
Well, we've got a lot of stuff on our everyday plate, so... Anyway.
So, this
And we are hungry for more.
Yeah.
Speaking of hungry, I can go out and go get something to eat.
That
So-
sounds good too.
This has been Legend Hunter.
This has been Death Zero.
And Leo Fort's finally at the end.
Later, guys.
You say ciao, I'm gonna go ahead and tackle you.
Ciao! Bye, guys.